What's up guys, it's Matt Collins-Jones here, also known as a D365 Geek, and today we're talking about Power Automate and the Office 365 Outlook connector, and we're going to look at the action which is Update Event. So Update Event allows you to update an event in your calendar. So an event that maybe you create, you can then change some details about it, invite new attendees, update something on that event. So let's take a look at that today. So I'm in Power Automate and I have a trigger here which is for when a new event is created in V3, and then we can click on New Step. We can expand this list and go to the Office 365 Outlook connector and scroll right to the bottom until we get to Update Event V4. So here we do have some required parameters. Now some of these will probably already be in your event, so if you want to update them you can do, if you want to keep them the same you can do as well. So the first thing it asks for is the calendar ID. Again, I'm just going to hard code this in as calendar. We can use a piece of dynamic content from that trigger or from elsewhere. If you have maybe an action that's looking at your events, you can use that. Then we need the ID of the event. So in here, we'll just type ID. And again, we're just trying to get it from that trigger there. Next, we need subject. And again, I don't want to update my subject. I just want to pull that through. So we'll just use the dynamic content from that trigger and say subject. Now, I'm not going to show advanced options there, make it a bit bigger. Now, the last few things that I need to do is I need to specify the start time, the end time, and the time zone. So in this instance, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use a formula of add days. So what I'm going to do is when I say add days, we're going to take the start time and then we're going to add 2 days to it. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to update when we get this event, we're going to update the event and we're going to move it 2 days in the future. And then we're going to do the exact same thing for the end time as well. Start days, and then we'll scroll to end time, and then we'll add 2 days. So we're going to keep that same period. So as long as those add days are the same time, it's going to keep that same time period. Else, if you change those things, it's going to extend the time period for when that event is happening. And then time zone, again, I'm just going to hard code in UTC. 0, just because that's easy, but again we can get that from dynamic content if you want to. So when I clicked on show advanced options, it showed all of these other options. So we have the required attendees, the optional attendees, and the resource attendees. So these are the people that you're inviting to your meeting. So the resources being sort of like the rooms and things that you may be booking. The required and the optionals are the ones that you get in Outlook, where you're saying these people are required for the meeting, these people are optional if you want to attend. We do have the body, so we can put something in here, say this event has now been updated. And again, we can do things like bold it and change to Homer, because that's a great font. And then we have all these other options like location, importance, is an all-day event. So we basically have all the same options that we usually have when we create an event through Power Automate. So these are all the same that we've covered in previous videos, but just to show you that it's the exact same thing. It's like update contact. We basically get access to all the fields as on create as well. So there we go. So we're taking the event from the trigger. That's the calendar, that's the ID. We're taking the same subject. We just want to move it 2 days in the future. We're going to stick with the same time zone, and then we're going to add an update to the body. So let's test this out. So we'll click on test. I'll perform the trigger action and we'll save and test. And we'll wait for this to catch up for a minute. This is where I need hold music in my videos, isn't it? Like dun 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 dun. While we wait for the platform to catch up. I was having problems testing this a few minutes ago. It didn't update the page properly. So okay, so now it is triggering. It's waiting. So it says to see this work now, perform the action. It's great. This page may not refresh when I do this, but we'll find out. So we've got this is my calendar. I can put a new event in here, and we'll say this is an event to trigger the flow. And we'll say, right, it's going to be 9 till 10. I'm not going to add anything else into here. I'm just going to hit save. And we can see that event is added there. And what that'll do is then that will trigger the flow. maybe in the next 30 seconds, maybe the next minute, and then it should move that event automatically 2 days in the future, provided everything works in the flow, and it should also update the event as well. So if I go back to the flow, this may just take a minute. Oh, there we go. So it has updated. As you can see, we did set it for the 26th. It's now moved to the 28th. And we can see as we click into it, it says the event has now been updated. So there we go. That is how we update an event. If I go back to this, it's not going to show anything because it's having a little moment with this. But we can see how easy it is to update an event in your calendar. All we need to do is get in that calendar ID or that event ID, and then we can do some sort of update to it. So we could add additional attendees, we could change the date of it and the time of it like I've done here. Really easy way to use a great connector. So what do you guys think? Is it something you use at the moment? Is it not something you use at the moment? What your use cases that you're using it for? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, if you could like and share it with your friends, that would be appreciated. If you've not already, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with my latest videos, and I'll see you next time.